All right. All of you freedom loving boys and girls. Hey, Mark Centerline Systems, we're having some major technical issues here. I have no idea if we're even live right now. And I apologize to everybody if this is live and if you've been waiting. Again, I have no idea what's going on. Some very weird shenanigans here tonight. I'll just say this: if you're normally watch on Rumble, I apologize. Rumble is what's kicking our ass right now. And I could just use this as a couple seconds to let it kind of catch up like we normally do. I don't know if I'll be able to fix this on the fly. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Yeah, it just keeps giving me the same error message over on Rumble. Hey, so look, if you normally watch this on Rumble, I apologize. Again, I have no idea how many people are watching, if we're even live right now. It says there's a handful of people, but not completely sure. Hey, we're going to sit and talk about just moving on. Time to move on. And again, I apologize to everybody over on Rumble who watches on Rumble. I have no idea what happened. I'll upload it to Rumble afterwards, but Rumble just did some weird ass shit here tonight, and that I've never even seen before, so I'll have to figure it out. So our live stream tonight is going to be a little bit of a discussion. It's going to be a short live stream, but it's going to be a discussion about what we're going to do going forward. Yeah, okay, I got all my information. How we're going to go forward. I'm going to just show you one or two little tips and tricks. Gene, thanks for chiming in. Yeah, because seriously, Gene, it says we're live, but I have no idea. So thanks for chiming in, Gene, saying, hey, no notifications. Yeah, I clearly must have pissed somebody off someplace because, yeah, it's acting super weird and funky here tonight. So, hey, at least I know we are at least live somewhere. Gene, maybe it's just me and you, my good man. Hey, I'm off the booze for a while. I got a surgery coming up, so here's a little bubbly water to you, whatever you're drinking. Gene, this might work out in your favor because it's going to be a giveaway episode here tonight. So if it's really just me and you, it kind of guarantees you that you're the winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, ass hat, screw tube. Well, I don't know what's going on here tonight, Gene. I mean, it's all acting really weird. And I don't know if it's this software or if it's Rumble. I mean, I'm going to try to add Rumble into it again right now. And every time I try to do it, it says there's an error. So I don't know if Rumble's getting DDoSed or what's going on. Yeah, it won't let me. Sorry, boys and girls. All right. So sorry to everybody who might watch on Rumble. Skillet Steve Company checking in from Alabama, New York. I'm with you. Hey, thanks, Skillet Steve. We haven't seen you before, but thanks, Angry Viking Veteran. All right, see, now some people are kind of, man, I apologize to everybody. Just a very weird opener. The whole technology and everything was just being really crappy. Angry Viking Veteran, cheers to you as well. Yeah, and now Gene's saying crew's coming in. All right, well, hey, so let's just kind of move on. I apologize to everybody who's going to watch this after the fact. Rumble, it's just not letting me do it. And I went and reset it like 4 different times, the whole new API key and the whole 9 yards. And it just isn't letting me do the stream over there. And it was also acting really weird when it came to ScrewTube. Yeah. Well, anyway, hey, we've got a giveaway. We're just going to talk a little bit of shop here. I want to hear your guys' comments, your thoughts. We're going to talk about the way forward, how we're going to be running business a little differently over on Centerline Systems. I'm going to share a little bit of what the website's going to look like. I still got some work to do. And then, like I said, we're going to have a giveaway. I'm also going to show off a couple little tips and tricks. I got a question. I want to hear everybody's opinion on something. But before I do, I just want to give a shout out. Now, I wrote down some notes from a great conversation I had with a customer the other day. Dan P, last initial P, from Canada, brother from the north here. And his comment was like, hey, Mother Nature bites you in the ass. It just does. Mother Nature doesn't care about your political affiliation, whether you agree with this public policy or this foreign policy. Mother Nature doesn't give a shit about any of that stuff. Mother Nature is going to bite you in the ass, so you better be prepared. And then his comment was, because we were talking about gear, he's like, look at yourself in the mirror when your gear fails. If you've been running around buying cheap Chinese gear, foreign made crappy gear, if that's what you do, I mean, look, you do you. If that's your technique, hey, no harm, no foul. But if that's what you're gonna, put your life on the line, if that's what you're gonna trust your life to, or the life of your family and your children, hey man, look yourself in the mirror. Now I'm gonna take it into a little slightly different perspective. If you are an American employee, if you're an employee of the West, if you're working your ass off and you're pissed off about this X, Y, and Z, same thing, man. Like, you want, so many people nowadays want cheap material, cheap gear. They work in America. I'm just going to America. I can't speak for any other country when it comes to your hourly wages and how this all works. I only speak to America. It's like coming to me and Mark's gear is so expensive. Really? No, it's not. It's not even close to where it needs to be. And the prices will be closer to where they need to be when we open up. But like, that's so insulting to me when people say it. It's like, and my response is, go to work tomorrow. Tell your boss you only want to make 10% of what your daily wage is. And everybody be like, well, why in the F would I do that? Exactly. So you want me to give you high quality material, high quality craftsmanship, high quality song and dance, and but you want it at cheap Chinese labor prices. Okay, that makes all the sense in the world to me. But anyway, shout out to Dan. Last shout out to Dan. It's really actually out to Dan's girl. I got to give a shout out. I'm supposed to say pogey bait, lickies and chewies. That's all I'm supposed to say. Pogey bait, lickies and chewies. I guess that's an internal joke. And either just got Dan in trouble or that was funny. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Hey, let's just see if we got, okay, see, something weird is going on here tonight. So Snowshoe Dave, thank you. Checking in, just got the feed. I have no idea what's going on, brother. It's just the NSA, my NSA handlers are fucking with me tonight because they know I'm going to kind of be a little bit of old Mark. Skillet Steve Company. I purchased MCC a few months ago. Excellent product and craftsmanship. There's something to be said for made in the USA. And it's not even just that, Skillet Steve. I know some companies that say made in the USA and they actually use foreign made materials. That's why I actually don't put the made in the USA logo on my gear. My logo is that pledge that it's all made in America, mil spec, berry compliant. There's a bunch of companies that, it's made in America. And it really should say is assembled in America from foreign materials, whatever, but, whatever. Angry Viking veteran. It's true. Buy once, cry once. You get what you pay for. And it's not just even that, AVV. I mean, you're absolutely right. But, I don't know. With the way the world's going today, would you really rest your life, your reputation, or your money on something that's made overseas by a country that is who considers us one of their main adversaries? I mean, there is obviously a capitalistic, exchange of currency, but that's not going down to any of their people. It's not benefiting their cities, their community, those employees. It's benefiting the higher ranking muckety mucks within their, political system, and the same thing on our side, which, I guess I would challenge everybody, go look up autocracy and plutocracy and ask yourself if we're really even a constitutional republic anymore, or what's really being shaped on the global stage, because there's shit happening and it ain't helping me or you. Gene, my MCC was worth every penny joke. It was worth every penny joke, call, and the wait. So Gene and I had some jokes going back and forth, and Big Vis, I'm late. Did I miss all the good stuff? No, Big Vis, welcome to the party, because there's some really weird technical issues going on here tonight. And I can't even, I'm not allowed to hook up to Rumble. There was even stuff over on the ScrewTube side. Sorry, I forgot to mute my phone. Let me just do that. I got so carried up in the WTF, and I didn't have my, my science team, my tech team wasn't here to do all this for me. So I had to try to figure that out. And I've been cutting grip tack materials in here this whole afternoon. So, all right, kind of moving on. I just want to give you guys a quick heads up on some stuff. So everybody's got a sense, can maybe weigh in and figure out, what your thoughts are and what we're going forward. So this whole episode is the way forward part 2. I'm almost finished with some a run of hats, and I don't want to jinx myself, knock on some wood, and hoodies. So we're going to have hats and hoodies. I've already ordered some stickers. I'm going to figure that out. They weren't cheap, so I'll probably do it with orders over a certain amount, or maybe just have them, available for my cost, so I'm just not losing money and people want to buy them, if you're just doing a small order. But so we're going to have stickers, hoodies, and hats. Hoodies and hats are almost getting complete, and I'm here to tell you, I'm so biting my tongue. Well, I'm not going to lie. The hats, I want one just for me, and the same with the hoodies, but I came up what I think is a pretty cool design for the hoodies. The hats, I don't want to jinx that either, but you might know about it. Well, actually, we've already said it, so I'll just say it. So we're going to do a run of hats in Nemesis camo. So we're working with Clint from Nemesis, and we're working with a couple other a no joke American company. So the hat is no joke American made. The material, it's all here in America. Working with Clint, he's just been a great guy trying to make this work for me and another company, because of the MOQs, the minimum order quantities, and the embroidery and all this. So we're right on the cusp of having that completed. So stay tuned on that. So when we open up, that's the goal. When we open up circa 1 October, I might have the hats and the hoodies and the stickers that might be available for sale beforehand, because that's going to be a separate category. And I'll bring the wagons back around into the categories and give you guys a sense of what the website's going to look like, because I'll be working on that probably next week and the week after. But so yeah, hats, hoodies, and stickers, that's going to be in like the swag category. And I've got a couple other little things in my hip pocket. I'm really hoping I can make happen, because that'll be some more swag. So just stay tuned. We're trying to do some cool things with the swag. See, now it shows people are starting to hear. I have no idea, boys and girls. I apologize. Whatever happened here tonight, I'm just going to own it and assume it's all me. I did something stupid, but whatever I did, I have no idea what's going on. So I'm going to have to just figure it out afterwards. Angry Viking veteran. I love it. See, yeah, I get it. I echo his sentiment. Matter of fact, I got to come back to that AVV. He says, I get what you're saying, but for 20 plus years, I trusted my life to the lowest bidder. Obviously a veteran making jokes about who is making our gear. Hey, AVV, everybody, did you see that report coming out just talking about how much, I don't know if I want to call it graft and corruption, but I mean, we're talking billions of dollars in defense contracting that they're now starting to realize, has all of our tax dollars. So many of our tax dollars have been wasted and abused, and it's all a big system of fraud and abuse and graft and corruption. And so that onion is starting to get peeled, boys and girls. There's somebody starting to peel back that onion. Gene's has got to say something to you. Well, yeah, and then Gene, and for all you guys, I'm sure it was the same for you as well. AVV, Gene saying thanks for your service, and same over here, guys. Yeah, no, that's you're putting your life on the line, and it's gear made by the lowest bidder. Well, you know what? Yeah, we'll save that for another time. I mean, I get it. The government is trying to save tax dollars, but then if you look at how they've got that whole thing set up, so it's the lowest bidder, and there's already so much graft and corruption and kickbacks and political favors and all that stuff, tied into it. I mean, just look at when we went from the BDUs to the ACUs, and look at that whole debacle. That was just one of the worst. That doesn't tell you what's messed up. I don't know what tells you what's messed up. All right. So I was saying I was going to circle back. So swag, we're almost ready on hats, hoodies, stickers should be here by the end of, maybe early next week. I'm hoping that I'll have hoodies completed by the end of next week and hats completed. Hats are almost there. We just gotta execute. I think that we're just working out a couple things with, amongst the businesses involved. The hoodies, there's a design thing there, and I'm just going to give a shout out to Blackbeard. If you guys ever watched he's actually been over here too, but Blackbeard, great guy, more talented on that, computer side. And I had to generate some of my own images, because I had a moment. I'm like, oh, I think this would be a cool hoodie. I think it's going to be a really cool design. I hope you guys like it. But we'll showcase that soon. I wanted to show it off, just the kind of generic artwork right now. And Steven was like, don't you dare, man. Don't do it. It's way too soon. It's way too soon. All right. So moving on. So here, just kind of letting you know what's going on. So look, and this is a dumb thing, but I'm just going to show you how my stupid brain works. Matter of fact, here's what I was just doing a few minutes ago. right? So I've got to cut all this material to get ready for the next business day sales, and because of how the website's going to set up. So, I've got to go through everything and really think of, okay, well, what am I doing here? What am I doing there? And I've done so much PowerPoint and Excel and all that kind of crap in the military. And, but this is more my style, old school. On the back of an MRE box, you're doing an op order or you're making a training graphic or whatever. So for me, I can just sit down and whip these things out. So for you do-it-yourselfers, it's a good visual aid, and they're not hard to do. Now, this one is laminated because I'm going to be erasing this and using it for a couple different purposes. But this right now is just helping me get my head on and make sure I'm not missing something as I'm cutting all the material that we need to sew for the next business day products. And that's what I'm going to go into right now. So, and I could have brought this into a PowerPoint, I guess, but you'll get the point. So here's what I'm going to do. So on the top of the website, as you look at the website, here's going to be the tabs that run across the top. Next business day, belts, swag, custom orders. And then I think I'm going to call it appointment only. And that's pretty much basically the custom orders are how we're doing it right now, right? So next business day, it ships the next business day. And if you order after business hours, that is the next day, right? So, so if you order at 8:00 at night, well, then that's going to be considered an order the following day, right? And I'll have to make this stuff clear because I already know I'm going to get yelled at. Well, I ordered it last night at 8:00. I'm like, yeah, so you think I was working at 8:00? I mean, I probably was, to tell the truth, but anyway. That'll be clear on the website. So next business day, belts, because belts we usually turn 7 to 14 days, and I'm under contract with Black Scout Survival on those, so that's kind of a shorter turn time. So really no changes there. Then the swag, I already kind of talked about that. The custom orders. Now that's how we do business right now. So that will be no change there. The change there is you're not going to see as many products, and I'll kind of get into that either in this episode or, in a future episode. So it will at a minimum mirror the products that you see over on the next business day. And we'll probably have about between 2 and 4 other products there. Now, some of the products that take a really long time to make, and there's just no margins. Again, go buy it from China. Those guys are, I'm here to tell you, Cindy, me, the labor we put into it, that's got to mean something, and people have to get paid accordingly. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not flying around in a helicopter. I haven't even bought new clothes in years. So, hey, Taser, hey to you too, right there. But anyway, so there's that. So there's some products that we still like doing, and I really love them. But, the reality as a business person, the margins just aren't there. So we're going to probably do those as appointment onlys. And that'll be more clear as I start figuring it out. Right now it's kind of clear as mud, but I'll have another tab. There's going to be some of the products that take a long time to make. So for example, well, the MMP will be over there for sure. The burrito will be over there for sure. I hate to say it, I'm probably going to have to put the rucksack over there. Look, here's just the harsh reality. That rucksack takes us almost a full day to make one rucksack, right? There's that much labor that goes into it. It's so labor intensive, and especially on the sewing. We could cut that down, but then we would be cutting corners. Ha ha ha. I'm not even drinking it. I even thought that was a stupid joke. I apologize. Can we rewind? Forget I said that. But we could cut some corners, but it's only going to end up shaving off about an hour's worth of labor. And it's going to give you a shittier product, in my opinion. It's not going to be the right stitch for that right component for that component or that portion of the rucksack. And when all that labor and all that material goes in there, and, again, I still need to put eggs in my refrigerator and milk. So, and without me even doing what, companies that do business overseas, those guys are selling you that $60, $80 product. Those guys are making 600, they're a business. They're not doing this to make $1, well, some companies will maybe look at, hey, I can mass produce this for $10. So if I sell it for 30 and I mass produce it, I'm making that's, so they've got their margins and how they do business. It's completely different. And their labor is what really saves them on a lot. I just got to throw this. I just saw this. Well, okay. I'm going to go to Angry Viking. Sorry. And then I'm going to move on. But AVV, so ships within 24 hours may make it clear for hard to please customers. No, see, that would have been unclear right there, because if you ordered at 2000 on a Tuesday, You would think it ships by no later than 2000 on Wednesday. No, after normal business hours, and I'll make this clear, and I never called business hours here because I'm always working, right? So I didn't care if anyone called me. Now we're going to have definitive business hours, so from like, 8 in the morning until like probably 1700, or maybe I'll do 8 until 18, give it a 12-hour period. And that's our normal business day. And then any order that comes in after that is going to be considered that it actually was arrived on Wednesday, right? Because I'm not sitting there and processing that order Tuesday night at 0001, although, I might be, or 2300. So we're going to treat that as though that was the next day. So any order that comes in after business hours is treated as though it came in the next day. So to your point, AVV, if you placed your order at 2000 on a Tuesday, it's going to ship on Thursday is what it's going to look like. That's what that's going to be. And then, but back to what we're just saying about cutting corners, Big Visk, you're like Wendy's, no corners cut. That's why their burgers are square. You know what? I'm not a big fast food fan, but I do like Wendy's when I do have fast food. All right, moving on. So here, just your guys' thoughts. Here's what we kind of got going on right now. Just to give you guys a little heads up, because whether you're watching live or if you watch this later, I want to hear your comments down below. If you're here in the live stream, I love that, but leave a comment down below so we can all kind of figure this out. But here's what I'm thinking. Again, this is just how my brain works. Next business day. So here's what we're going to do. I'm pretty damn sure this is going to be the products that are going to be in the next business day slot. The Mother, the Mud Flap, the Scout, the Padded Strap Wrap, the Folding Saw Pouch, the Big Boy, and the Key DC. And then, those are be the products that are the next business day. And there's going to be what I'm calling 3 slots. So we're going to do those. And I'm here to tell you, there's no customization, no herb loops, no, I want shotgun shell loops on the shoulder strap, no customization. It's going to be, now I'll have extra large and regular shoulder straps because I know some people are going to need, extra large. So we'll have some of those pre-made too, but it's going to be, here's the Mother, here's the Scout, here's the Mud, whatever it is, that product, Folding Saw Pouch, Big Boy, no modifications whatsoever. There it is, all in black, or there it is, all in Ranger green. Matter of fact, and don't let me forget, the next time we do this before we open up, I'm switching over the Ranger green 1-inch webbing. So that's a 17337. See, I know what it is because I use it. See, that's not material made overseas. It's mil spec webbing, and it's the designator 17337 that has to do with the type, and then there's type 1, type 2, the style of weave. So last year I looked, but now so there's like, well, maybe 3, but really 2 kind of plants. And they've got a handful of distributors. I like the distributor I work with. They're awesome. Been working with them since we started. But there's a new green out there that is now available to me in the 1-inch, and it's a 17337. And I just saw a sample and I just ordered. So we're going to have a slightly new 1-inch webbing. But anyway, back to my point. It's all Ranger green or it's all multicam black. The thread, the logo, the plastics, the whole 9 yards, right? This is it. Ships the next business day. see Angry Viking Veterans comment. Ships the next business day. But then there's going to be a 3rd slot. So a 3rd color, a 3rd pattern, and sometimes maybe just a 3rd product, right? So that 3rd slot is going to be kind of a variable. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm starting off the 3rd slot. So I was just actually prepping to start cutting. I bought a whole bunch of Nemesis, and we're going to have those 7 products all in Nemesis, ready to ship the next business day when we open back up. And I'm working this out with Clint. Again, great human being, so happy. I'd known him a long time ago from a different company, but we'd never really talked. And then now with Nemesis, we're talking. He actually shared a pretty funny joke with me that's not suitable for work, so I won't share it, but it made me chuckle. But we're going to do Nemesis in that slot. And then, I'll have more details later, but because Clint is a former snake eater, 18 series special forces, what I'm going to do in that 3rd slot, and I won't do it every time, but I'm going to do it quite often. I'm going to take all of my products or my profits from that 3rd slot, and I'm going to donate it to a charity. So when we start this off with Nemesis, so here's my costs, and then here's my profit. And if somebody's smart, they'll figure out like, gosh, Mark really doesn't make a lot of money off of this because it won't be a huge contribution. But I'm going to take my percentage, the cut that would be coming to me for me to put clothes on my back and food in my belly. which needs to get trimmed down anyway. You'd think I was eating like a pig every day. It's the lack of exercise, boys and girls, but that is about to get fixed. But anyway, I'm going to donate those proceeds to a charity of Clint's choice. So we'll have Clint on right before we open up to talk a little bit more about Nemesis and the charity we're going to donate all those profits from. And that's going to happen quite a bit, right? So we've got some other things that are going to go. For a matter of fact, Murph and I are still working on trying to come up with the charity auction for those young Marines, trying to get them over to Pearl for the anniversary this year. And I think what we were talking about there, so like this would be next business day charity auction, I guess kind of a little bit different. If we can pull this off, that's going to be one of the rucksacks, but it's going to be in that frog skin. And just like, Clint was talking about, that's a legacy camouflage pattern. So we're still working on that. So anyway, that's what that third slot. Other times it'll just be, well, I'm just making this up. Maybe we're going to make a couple burritos, the CFSE, or maybe we're going to make a couple of these, or maybe I see another camouflage pattern and I want to try it out, just see what it's like and see what you guys and gals think. Or maybe we'll have just you guys tell me what you want to see in that third slot ship's next business day, whether it's Desert Tiger Stripe, Classic Vietnam Tiger Stripe. Maybe I get my hands on some of the ATAX FG, the original old school ATAX FG, Forest Moon of Endor. Or maybe we take like, a couple different colors, and maybe that's where we throw in gray or multicam tropic, or we do a combination, or we do something in blue, or if I can finally get my hand on some orange. See where we're going? So leave me a comment. But that's what the third slot's going to be. Sometimes it'll be a product. Sometimes it'll be a pattern. Sometimes, if depending on what we're doing, working it out with other people. Like again, first time we open up that third slot, that's going to be all Nemesis, and the proceeds or my profits are going to go to a charity of Clint's choice on that one. All right, so let me know what you think about that stuff right there. And we might throw the belt pouch on there, so that might be the 8th product. See, we're still figuring some stuff out. We just got to look at how fast, what are our big sellers? What can we turn? What takes us the longest to make? So I can never put a rucksack on there next business day unless it's something I've forecast and I give myself a couple weeks to make so I can have it available at that point in time. So some difficulties there, but you see, I'm trying to work it out. Belts, I already talked about that. It's our standard thing, except on the belts, I will have keepers and Y harnesses in the belt category, because we just will throw those things in their belts. So belts, my 1.5-inch belt, the concealment belt we make for Jack over at Black Scout Survival. Go check that thing out. Better to have and not need than need and not have. The Sherpa belt, which is my more outside of your clothes, winter, fall, kind of old school, tied in a wool noose, a longer tip so you can wear it over multiple layers of clothing. We'll still have the Sherpa belt, and that's got 1-inch webbing on the outside so you can hook things up like your cups or your gloves or whatever you want to do. The EDCP, which is our 1.75-inch belt that you can just wear in your pants for those who like 1.75, which I actually do. It'd be really good for my back. I like it, but I would have to change all the wings on all my holsters, and I just don't want to do that. So I'm sticking with my 1.5. But then we'll also have the Y harness and the keepers, because unfortunately we do a lot of keepers, but I just had a breakthrough. Again, just thinking through how you make your own outlines and you make your own charts and templates. I really can't do. Matter of fact, I already posted that video. Yeah, go watch the video. I can't remember where I just posted it, and I'll get into social media here in a little bit too. But I just did no, that was actually about the concealment wallets. During that same period of time, I have a jig, an outline, a way to do it. And I think I just discovered a faster way to make keepers. We sell a lot of keepers, which is strange. I guess there's not a lot of companies out there making them, or they don't make them as good as us or offer the variety that we offer. But I'm here to tell you, I'm touching those things like per keeper. I'm touching each keeper over 20 times. So that's a lot of hands-on, for a little product that you don't make. There's no profit in it whatsoever. But we're going to keep doing it because there's a lot of boys and girls out there who like keepers. I'm going to take a quick break here. Just here we go. I didn't even see. I just want to stay up with your comments. I like reading your guys' comments over here. You guys can see the comment. I'm going to read it, but God dang it, Gene. I like it. I'm not even drinking. I'm drinking bubbly water. All right. Give me a sec. Gene, Shipping will still be quicker than Biden walking off of a podium. Gene, you ain't wrong, sir. You are not wrong. That's awesome. I so need to buy you a drink in person one day. That's funny as hell. Gene's other comment, legacy and ATAX, the guy involved with ATAX. So especially that ATAX FG. And thanks to ATAX for, they did all the X's, FGX and all that stuff. I really like the original FG and the original AU. Those are my favorite patterns still to this day. So I'm glad to see that ATAX brought those things back. They didn't. And matter of fact, a couple of years ago, this was like 3 years ago, I was bragging because I got the last 70 yards of AU according to shot performance. That's just where you get it from. They're like, yeah, you got the last of it. But then ATAX said, we need to bring this shit back. People want it. All right. So here's some swag and some ideas. I want to hear what you guys think. So again, we're already going to go with like hats. So we got a cool hat coming, and that's just stay tuned on that. We're almost ready to start putting the hoodies in, so I can order one or two to see if I really like it. Stickers are already coming. I know a lot of guys and gals like patches. Me personally, I've never been a patch guy, but this isn't about me. So if you want to see a patch, leave it in the comment. No offense to the live stream, but leave it in the comment because that's what I'm going to work off of. And then another idea. Now, I also, besides hats, I like skull beanies, right? It's wintertime 6 months out of the year up here. So a nice little skull beanie out of a nice fleece. I don't know if I'd be able to find that or if I could get them in quantity and then just have my own embroidery done on that. But I wouldn't mind the idea of a skull beanie or like making a stupid little koozie, a can koozie for the summertime around the barbecue, because that'd be kind of cool. So let me know what you think. So that's kind of my other potential swag ideas that I'm kind of coming up right now. I know most people will want to go with patches, but tell me what you think. Let's do this as a little, leave a comment. And that's going to be part of social media going forward. I'll just say that right now. Kind of a weird little in-between or break. Look, ScrewTube is ScrewTube, and Instagram is Facebook. And, Zuckerberg just came out and admitted that he has been doing all this stuff. And so, I know people like, oh, I don't want to hear politics, whatever. Like, my God, they're not lying. They're not hiding what they're doing. I mean, look, I just did that video with why can't I think else on with Chappie and Tom. I just did the video on the VA, and we went in a slightly different direction with that video because Chappie unfortunately knows somebody in his life who had a veteran who had taken his life the day before. So we were kind of really more focused on, let's not talk about differences. Let's just talk about, what the hell's going on here. I just know, and I know somebody else who just told me yesterday the same effing story, right? So I'm like, this is some serious stuff. So that you would think that video, just by the nature, the content would have had a shit ton of views. No, ScrewTube. So I'm not 100% sure. And I'm not saying I'm not one of these guys, I'm going to do a video telling you how I'm walking away. No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying that for like these contests and these questions, I'm going to find a different way, because why would I be over on Instagram where I've got, over 10,000 subscribers? I've never paid for a single person, but Instagram only lets like, oh, you should boost your post. I'm like, why would I boost the post? You're not even letting anyone new see the post over there. So yeah. So I'm not sure how we're going to roll with Instagram and ScrewTube going forward. So the numbers aren't the same, but the percentages are way better over on Rumble and X. So, maybe you don't like Elon Musk. Maybe you don't like the Rumble people. Look, I'm not the happiest with the Rumble platform. I don't know if that's what just shit the bed and caused the software to glitch up here tonight. I don't know. So Rumble's got some growing pains, but that's still free speech. Elon Musk, that they used to love the guy, and then until he took over and then try to make the platforms free speech, and now they want to ban him. Hey, Mark, you're making it up. Really? Go listen to what Kamala Harris just said. All right. They're not lying. They're not hiding it from me. So, but I think that's where we're going to start. I'm going to start spending more of my time because my time is precious. I don't get a lot of free time off. And if I'm going to be spending my time doing this, both for my personal reasons and for my business reasons, I've got to have a return on my investment. And ScrewTube and Instagram really aren't that. And if they don't want me there because they don't like that I make camouflage gear, or that, hey, look, here's my final way of saying this. I've spent a little over 30 years of my life. I'm 66 or 56, excuse me. I don't even know how old I am, and I'm not drinking. I'm 56. I've spent a little over 30 years of my life. I joined the military when I was 17. A little over 30 years of my life, the formative parts of my life. There's no way I'm walking away from that. It's too built into my DNA. You know, I still do surveillance detection routes every time I go out there. I still practice situational, like no matter how much I might want to get rid of it, that's never going away. My time in the service, my attitude, my thoughts towards planning and preparedness and discipline and accountability. And, you know, I'll just say this. I mean, I get people, when I was in the military, you never used your rank or your position for personal gain. That was verboten. You never did that. And I see it happening a lot in our society. So, you know, I'm not going to apologize for who I am. That's who I am. I'm not going to shake that. And so what I'm kind of telling you guys and gals is I'm going to start embracing what I call old Mark. So a little bit of old Mark's going to start coming back to the forefront because, you know, I think I've kind of like, oh, I'm trying to run a business, you know, You know what? Yeah, but not at the cost of my soul or who I am. So just strap in and be prepared, right, for that. Matter of fact, and on that note, if you don't watch us over there, you don't have to. I ain't telling you what to do. You don't have to subscribe to X or whatever. I mean, we'll still post over on those other platforms, but I don't know if I'll do the lives there anymore. I think, you know, if you want to watch the live, you know, come over here to where free speech is still. Look, why do you think they are talking about, like, you know, going after Elon Musk? Because they don't like the fact that, you know, evil dies in the light. You have to shine light on it. Well, that's kind of where I want to be then. And if, you know, and we'll still maybe post it like a day later over on Rumble or a correction on ScrewTube, and we'll still do stuff over on Instagram. But yeah, I'm just like, you know, anyway, back on that thing. Hey, and then my last thing on swag. So I see some comments and I'll get to you guys in a second. Boy, I thought this was going to be a short live stream. I'm rambling here. And so I said patches, skull beanies, koozies. The other thing is, I don't know if I'll do it with canteens or another product, but Blake, you know, who is my partner over there on Millstone, great human being, love him and his family to death. They're just awesome. And they are consummate professionals, whether it comes to gunsmithing, Cerakoting, and that's where we do our Cerakoting. And that's where I turn to him for all my gunsmithing needs too, if it's outside of my wheelhouse. I kind of want to think about maybe doing something with Cerakoting. Now, I don't know what it is, but, you know, again, like whether it's a canteen or a water bottle, and my water bottle's over there, and there's a cup. So go back to see our previous giveaway that I did with Murph, where we did that glass beach mug. I fucking have fallen in love with that coffee mug. That thing is just, you know, I see that video. I was talking about that game Clue, where, like, you know, you got all the little things, what was used to kill the person, you know, the candlestick, or I mean, that coffee mug is like a weapon. That thing's like a pound. It's just built like, it's just solid. And I don't know if we could Cerakote that, but like I would love to figure out some way to do some business with those guys and have that in their swag, because those cups are just awesome. And, you know, again, and if we did something like that, I would probably do that. Where, like, I'm not making money. I just can't lose money. And all the proceeds, all the profits go to a charity. I mean, so stay tuned on that. Let me know what you think about that. Okay. Here, just let me get caught up on some comments. AVV, the clean tool video today. All right. Yeah. I don't even remember where I posted that, because I posted something else on a different channel, but yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm going to start doing, and there you go, AVV. I'm going to start doing a lot more of that going forward too, to include in front of the sewing machines, talking about box X's and, you know, different types of stitches, you know, like, you know, well, anyway, just stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more of that. I have found that when I did those over on ScrewTube, when I was I just got done with my hip surgery and I was finally able to exercise and I was testing out the ruck. I did notice, or when I talked about foot maintenance, I did notice there was some trolls who didn't like that. You know, I guess talking about X, and look, man, I'm not Groggins or any of those guys. I'm not trying to do like, oh, I'm over there rucking. I guess people don't like it when you're trying to get healthy. I don't know what it is, you know, and YouTube doesn't want to promote that. Snowshoe Dave is saying a skull cap. Yeah. See, you're singing my song right there, 'cause that's what I would want to do. I'd be wearing that thing everywhere. Gene. Yeah, a heartbreaking but eye-opening video. Everyone should watch and share. And he's talking about the one I did with Chappie and Tom, I'm sure, right, Gene? I'm assuming that's what it is. Because although my videos are rather heartbreaking, because you're like, is Mark still talking? Boy, he really does have that face for radio and that voice for silent film. Snowshoe Dave, you will need those skills again. I hate to say it, sir. You ain't wrong. You know, people can say all they want, but I agree with you. Snowshoe's also saying ramble on, then AVV. You saw it on Rumble. Okay. Yeah. I posted, I think, on But so again, maybe I'll start doing more of that stuff over on ScrewTube. ScrewTube wants you to do those small little short videos. That's the other thing too. Their big thing is to keep everybody dumb and only watching 30 seconds at a time. So something with Cerakote, whether it's a bottle or a canteen or something cool, maybe that might be in there in the swag. And I did just order these two, and I'm going to have some. I know this is kind of stupid, and I'm not a big believer in packaging, right? The packaging is, I mean, if you want to pay an extra $5 or $10 for like, packaging, I mean, that you're just going to cut up and throw away, I guess. But I did, I do have my packaging, and I just eat that. It's $1 per one of those packaging envelopes. I did just do new ones on that, which I think will just look a little cooler. I know it's stupid, but whatever. So that's a new thing coming up. So on the custom, so this is how we do business already. So here's what we're thinking on the custom. The Mother, Mud Flap, Scout, padded strap wrap. So it's going to mirror for the most part what we're doing on the next business day. Mother, Mud Flap, Scout, padded strap wrap, folding saw, big boy. But then we'll have the everyday organizer over there, the Gap pouch. Now the Gap is going to be there. I'm not sure if we're going to have Babs over there. So the Gap and the Babs are kind of the same product, but the Babs is a shoulder strap, dedicated shoulder strap. The Gap, more of throwing on your waistline, throwing on a rucksack. But if you wanted to, you can add shoulder straps to it because we're going to come out with the meat bag. So that's the other thing we're trying to, get done here because we've got to prototype it. I need to make one, send it to the guy whose original idea it was, who sent me an actual World War II. I'm calling it the meat bag for a couple of reasons, because it was a food bag, but I also like Bender from Futurama because he called all humans meat bags. So I don't know. I just like the name meat bag, but then we'll have the meat bag on there. And I think that's probably going to replace the Babs. It's a different design. It's not really a haversack. Go look up World War II, and they had it in World War I as well. It's a food bag. So we're prototyping that, and that'll be coming out. So that's going to be in our custom side. There might be one or two other products that we throw in there. We just kind of have to see, like we're taking our utility pouch. We've turned it 90 degrees. So we've done one of those already. Well, that was the original design. Then we've made another one. Jack from Black Scout is sending me one of his new tins because it's a larger tin. It's not like an Altoids tin. Mathematically, it should work, but you've heard me say before, I want to see one so I can put it in there and make sure, because I think I'll tweak that to make sure it does work. And at that point, I don't know if it'll be over here on Centerline, or we might just make it for Jack at Black Scout completely for him, because I think that might go a little bit more with his customer crowd. I got to throw this out there before we go too far past Bender. Hookers and blackjack, baby. Gotta love Bender. Oh yeah, you're a fan if you're making those references. And then I've already kind of mentioned this. So you notice I haven't talked about our G3 and our gear roll. So now we're on kind of the final category, appointment only. Definitely the rucksack. I'm still thinking this through. The burrito, but I'm not even sure if we're going to do the burrito over here. That might just be something I make just a handful every now and then, throw them onto the next business day, use them as opportunities to raise some money for charities. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. But the rucksack for sure, because that's almost a full day labor right there. That'll be on appointment only. And by appointment only, I mean exactly that. It'll be whoever is willing to give me a phone call and talk through it and understands, and I'm probably only going to make, and I'll have to look at them by product, figure out the time, look at my time management for a month. And we might only make, between 2 and 4, depending on what the product is, a month. I mean, that just might be how it's going to have to be, just because, yeah, I mean, shit, I wish I could hire 4 or 5 more people, right before all the bullshit happened in 2019, 2020. Recession was actually kind of starting in 2019, definitely in 2020. And then, you had the bullshit, the hokey pokey and all that. But, I went from, I needed to hire a minimum of 3 people to, shit, now you are lucky to make enough money to, have 3 days worth of eggs or 3 days worth of food in your refrigerator. So, I mean, it's just not, and I'm not complaining. It's the same for the vast majority of people. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You want to have more of that? Well, you know who to vote for then. You want to go back to where you can actually make a living wage. Even that other guy isn't here. Well, he's at least going to start moving in that direction, but we need somebody who's going to This whole thing needs to be torn down. I saw a great video, and I'm going to start reposting this stuff over on X. Now, I don't know if I'll do this on Millstone, but I probably will start doing this on Centerline too. I saw a great video where, it was a hair salon, and the owner was talking to all of her employees and asking them to guess at how much she had to pay just in taxes to the government just to run a business, your employee tax. And no one was even close. And it was like over $200,000 for 3 years. So she has to pay taxes. I have to pay taxes just to run a business. That's just to run a business. Then you have to pay taxes on what you're giving your people. They have to pay taxes on what this whole thing is out of effing control. That's all I got to say. And we need somebody to get in there and put an end to this shit. And it ain't going to be the person who's going to like start, taxing your unrealized capital gains. That's the exact opposite of creating a good economy. All right. Well, there's our tabs right now. And now I'm going to do a giveaway. Yeah, let me put it over there. Yeah, we're at 45 minutes. I think it's time to do a giveaway. Anybody got any comments before I do the giveaway? We're going to do the giveaway, and then I'm going to show you one or two little tricks. And I've got, one little trick thing that I do that you might be interested in. And then I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to end it with on a different product that is not made in America, but it's kind of cool. And, and maybe that goes into a separate little category and, or, big, huge, bold letters. Hey, just letting you know, this isn't made in America. It's not Berry compliant, but it is pretty damn good, So what do you do there, right? All right, I got no hookers and blackjack baby comments from Bender. No more of that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do a little giveaway. Well, first, clearing everything out, making room for how we're doing this stuff going forward. I got to have all this next business day and, so going through some stuff. Now, one of these products is left over from a photo shoot, and the other 4 products, so there's 2 products total. I have one, here, I'll just do it. So this is left over. This is one of our SRDPs. This is left over from our photo shoot. This is a photo shoot, went to Alex Messenger for a photo shoot. Kind of forgot that I had it. I think we announced it once and never really kind of promoted or anything. So if somebody is interested in this, just like always, this can ship the next business day because I have it in my hand. And if you tell me a good joke, well, I'm already going to give you a reduced price. And but if you tell me a good joke, I'll give you an even better reduced price. Then I have 2 of the concealment caddies in Coyote Brown with black, and these are the Molly strap versions. And then I have 2 of those same thing, concealment caddies in all black, the Molly version. We made these for something, and that something fell through, so I totally again kind of forgot about that. So it could be these could be shipped next business day, or it could be part of the contest, because the one I was thinking of for the contest is a concealment caddy. Now, this is a photograph special right here, multicam classic, and this has got the belt loops on the back, right? So these 4 have the Molly on the back. This one has the belt loops. This is the belt loop version, and this is multicam. So whether you want this as a reduced price, I'll treat all these as though they were, for the photographer, even though these guys actually were going to go to somebody else for a different project, and that, like I said, that fell through. But any one of those, the concealment caddies, that's going to be the prize for tonight's giveaway. And I'll leave it up to the winner to decide which one they want. And then if anyone is interested in purchasing one of those, they can ship the next day, discounted price. Tell me a good joke, make me laugh, even better discounted price. Let me just read a couple comments, and then I'm going to give you, because I got to string this out a little bit, and then I'm going to give you the question. So Gene, skull caps for the cold season. So, okay, guys, don't forget, leave those in the comments though after this video publishes too. Because that's how I'll track it. AVV, off topic. I want to thank you for the coffee memory contest. I didn't care to share, but it brought a great memory of my grandmother. So thank you. No, and we're going to do that again. And thanks for bringing that up, AVV. So, I mean, again, to me and Murph, that was like a no brainer. Like, hey, what a great subject, not to try to turn this into, freaking screw tube comments again, but like, yeah, stuff like that should be getting traction just because of what we're doing. And I think it's because they don't like charities. I had the same problem last year. I did 3 charity auctions last year for great causes. And we raised, I think we raised a total, almost $1,000. One or two of them got a little over 1,000. One of them got a little under 1,000. We raised over $3,000 for charities. And yeah, ScrewTube doesn't like any of that stuff, but thanks for bringing that up. And we're going to do more of that stuff going forward, AVV. And and if you can't participate, we're trying to raise money for other things, but if it gets you guys and gals to think about that cool moment, even if you don't want to share it, that's just the whole part of it, the whole point of it. So that's awesome. And I appreciate that, AVV. Gene's got a woodland caddy and he says he uses it every week. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this might be quick. This might take a little longer. And I'm willing to accept a couple different answers because there are a couple different answers, but there's 4 different answers, I'll assume, or some combination or something close to it. So here we go. This is the giveaway. One of the concealment caddies, your color, your choice, whichever one. And then those other ones that whatever's left over, those are available for immediate sale. Anybody want to reach out and give you a reduced cost. So here's the giveaway. Here's the question, because it's perfect for this time of year. And if you see the thumbnail that we used, that's an old picture, but I chose it kind of for tonight as well, because you see the changing of the leaves. So here's the question. Why do the leaves on trees change color? Why did the leaves change color? Let's see who comes up with the first acceptable answer. Why did the leaves on trees, why do they change color? Do, 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 ba-do, 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 do, do, do. Why do leaves on trees change color? I know there's a time delay here. Come on, boys and girls. This is, your outdoor nature preparedness, self-reliance. This is the shit you should know. Or maybe no one wants a concealment caddy. I guess I should accept that might be the truth of it too. Maybe no one wants a concealment caddy. Oh, come on. It's free, man. You can give it away. Turn around and sell it on eBay or something. Does no one know why leaves change color? I'm going to actually leave it open and I'm going to keep talking about something else to see if somebody chimes in. First person who chimes in. Why do leaves change? Well, Gene, that's not going to win it, but that's pretty good to avoid Bender. That's a nice reference, but that's not the answer right there. Nobody? Why do leaves change color? Why do the leaves on trees? Why do they change color? Okay. While I'm waiting to see if somebody gets it, I'm just going to show you something. I'm going to go back into that other little thing. I'll kill the next couple minutes. And if you're Googling this shit, man, there's a special place in hell. Matter of fact, Gene, that's robot hell. They go to robot hell. Benders, and then robot devils down there. And he makes them watch, makes them listen to Broadway shows all day long. That's AVV. I'll take that. I'll accept that right there. That's part of the whole process. So AVV is our winner. Winner, chicken dinner, angry Viking veteran, chlorophyll decrease. Now there's a lot more behind that, but that is one of the answers I was willing to accept. AVV, help me help you. Shoot me an email, mark@center-line-systems.com. I know I got your info someplace, but shoot me that email. Give me all your shipping information. I will throw that in the mail for you tomorrow. And then also let me know which one you want. What color, what pattern. I don't want to assume that you want the multicam. Although, again, multicams, belt loops, the Coyote Brown and Black, and the all black, the Chuck Norris, those are with the Molly on the back. So chlorophyll decrease. So you can look at a couple different ways. I mean, kind of one of the cool TV. I'm so looking forward to getting my G2M. But when will it be available for purchase? Cool TV. Let me come back to you in a second. Let me just kind of finish up the contest that we're just kind of doing. At the end of the day, if you want to just kind of break it down into like a larger thing, scheme of it, right? So photosynthesis, how trees create energy, whatever, relies on chlorophyll. And as the weather changes, the tree, which is a living organism, is like, hey, man, I need to start withdrawing these chemicals into my trunk, to keep myself warm for summer. And there's some other things that go in there. So as that chlorophyll is being withdrawn from the outer reaches of the tree, because that's energy, that's a waste of energy. The tree's basically going to go into hibernation. As that starts coming in, it does cause one or two other chemical reactions. And I didn't even know the name of that until I wanted to make sure. Actually, there's a name for it. It's let's see if I can say it. Anthocyanin synthesis. Anthocyanin synthesis. So anyway, as it cools, that triggers, well, anthos. Okay, yeah. So I just knew this happened as the days got shorter and the temperature dropped. It triggered this chemical reaction with the tree, and that is how you had that photosynthesis starts shutting down, that chlorophyll breaks down, as the tree starts retreating upon itself, so to speak. But I did not know it was called anthocyanin synthesis. So anyway, and it's also about water conservation, nutrition, recycling. So it's all about the tree trying to protect itself and stay alive over the wintertime. Snowshoe Dave, I just got to say this. High school science class was a long time ago. The old growth forest was still young. Yep. But at the end of the day, trees are incredible living creatures. They're a huge part of everything, and not to be distorted for political gains from some people. I actually, call me a tree hugger, whatever you want. Again, I love trees, but I already asked this question to a bunch of people here in northern Minnesota, because we already have trees change color for about a week now. It's not all trees. We'll probably start seeing the changes here in another week, but we already have some trees already starting to, hibernate, so to speak, and it's just awesome. And I've asked some people, why does that happen? And most people just say it's because it's getting cold. I'm like, well, and that would not have been an acceptable answer just because it was getting cold, although that is part of the process. All right. So, hey, just so Angry Viking Veteran, just shoot me that email. Tell me which one you want. I'll drop that in the mail for you tomorrow. Just, help me help you, just shoot me all your shipping info and all that kind of crap. I'll get it in the mail to you tomorrow. Now, before I go to this next thing, let me come over to Cool TV, and then we'll just wrap up with this last thing I want to show you. Cool TV. See, I think you're talking about, so the G2, we can still make that. And actually, I kind of overlooked that part. So the G3 I kind of overlooked that, and I apologize. Well, because I think I'm still figuring it out. So the G2, we had the G1, the G2, and the G3. So we're probably going to put that product over on the appointment only, because that takes a long time too. However, we're going to offer the G3, the current version, in 3 different versions of that G3, based on some requests that I've had from you great guys and gals on what you wanted me to do with your G3s. And if we're going to do that, then we could always, so we'll have a kind of a G1 version. It'll be the G3, which is slightly larger, but we'll do one version that kind of more mirrors the G1. We're going to do another version I'm calling Hammy, and I'll talk more about that, maybe in next week's live. And then we'll do the traditional G3, the way we make it right now. And then we'll also even just give you an option of what do you want to do with pockets? Maybe you want more of these pockets, less of that, or less of this and more of that. So, it's a custom product. It takes a long time to make. The margins just aren't there. So we probably will move that into the appointment only. And then the mother, the MCC, well, so that'll be available both in the custom side and the next business day side. Cool TV. So, and we call the mother, we still call it the mother, but it's like the second generation now. It used to be called the Mod Deuce, or the G2. Oh, that's yeah. Well, yeah, the Gen 2 MCC. I'm sorry, I was thinking the Gear World G2, but yeah, it's the Gen 2 mother. Yep. So that'll be up once we open. So again, whether that's on the custom side or the next business day side, ships next business day, that'll be available the moment we open back up, the store back up. And on the next business day, that's going to be, again, and there's no customization over there. It's just, here it is, no herb loops, no G hooks, none of that. It's just, here's the mother in black, Chuck Norris. Here it is in Ranger Green. We've got a new 1-inch webbing, still a 17337, but a slightly different color. I like it a little bit better. And then a third slot where we will rotate different patterns, whether those are camo or different color combinations, that will rotate in there from time to time. And we're going to start that off with Nemesis camo, and all of our profits from that in that third slot when we open up, that's going to go to a charity of Clint's choice. I hope that answered that. I apologize. I I misread what you're saying. Yeah, the second generation mother, the Ma Deuce. Yeah, but the G3, and I failed to mention that before. That's probably going to go over to the appointment only, but there's going to be a lot more options on how you, the end user, might want to manipulate that or construct it to so it does a better job of what you want it to do as a gear roll. All right. I hope I answered that. Cool TV. I apologize if I kind of screwed that up a little bit. All right. Now let me just show you guys something real quickly. So when people just order a shoulder strap, we use, so our normal buckles are chasm buckles. Those are the buckles that are already on the outside of the mother or the Scout. But if you just order a shoulder strap, look, I pay attention. Sometimes I know, oh, hey, didn't you just order a G3? Are you going to use this to carry a G3? And then I'll talk to you and like, maybe you don't want these buckles. So these are called split bars, right? And there's an opening at the back side of it. You can see, right? Now, personally, I don't much care for that. I like the chasm buckles because there's an end and a front, and the openings are off. Like, so one opening is 3/4 on one side and the other opening would be 3/4 on the other side. It's next to impossible for that thing to just fall off. Whereas my personal experience, whenever I've used this, the webbing always finds the center and it always comes out. So just a little trick. Now, so just showing you something I did just for, well, here's the easiest way. So I just took some blue tape so you could see it. Just start it off. Get tape, now this is going to be on your gear. So, this won't be as easy as what I'm showing right here, but just get some tape between the webbing and the buckle, and then just start getting some tape over the opening. And it's very simple and easy then, even with, webbing right there, because you can just, use a little dental tool or your finger or a fork or a knife, just fold that kind of on itself, and then it'll go right back through. And then you can get that wound up. And now you've occluded, you've blocked off that opening. For me, because I'm a loser weirdo, I just took my heat gun and because I got a whole bunch of, heat shrink stuff. And even had there been webbing on there, and I just got some heat shrink up there. And you can see that little silver mark on the one side because I just measured what I needed, cut it off, got it up over there. And even if there would have been webbing down through the bottom, it was easy. Got that up on top, and then I just heat shrunk it. And the tape would be the same thing. But if you ever needed to, don't forget that material right there is great fire starting material. It burns for a long time. You could cut this off in extremis if you had to. You could cut this material off, and this would be a great tinder because it isn't going to just blow out, like something else. You get that thing lit. That would be a great initial source to get an emergency fire going. And that was just some heat shrink. Yeah, there you go. Heat shrink, and then use my shrink gun. You could use a hair dryer if if that's your thing, and just and then just shrink it on there. But you can do it with tape. Tape, especially if you got big, freaking man hand sausage fingers, it can be a little bit. So have like a small tool, like even a butter knife. Honestly, would work. You just want something flat to help push it through, and then grab the other side and twist it over. And the tape would work the same ways. But for me, I just wanted to point that out because it just came up in the conversation. I'm just, well, and then this is where I'm going to go with this. So like, that's the split bar. These are ITW Nexus, best buckles out there, but there you can see it. But for me, the webbing always finds that center mass, and it always bums me up. Hey, Tennessee, just Cool TV says, thanks. You're welcome, Cool TV. I apologize for the confusion. And look who made it. Tennessee. Hi, Tennessee. I haven't heard from you in a while. Good to see you made it here. But now here's what I wanted to get into. Final comment for the end of this video. Now, this is not ITW Nexus. Now, if you've got Grimlocks, you'll be kind of familiar with this. So this is a male and female buckle. But as you can see, I hope that's showing up. I'm trying to get it up. Yeah. So up on the top, this is kind of not, it's not really a Grimlock, but that is, you can just kind of pull on it, and then that kind of opens up, and you could now slide this through any 1-inch webbing. Hopefully this will here. Hopefully you heard that click. It's pretty friggin' solid. Now, this company, and I'm not going to say who they are because I don't want to, I'm not trying to defame or be discouraging, but this is a question I want to pose to you guys. This company is not made in America. This is not Berry compliant. I did my research. There's 2 locations where this product is made. One of them is in Vietnam. I've seen some stuff out of Vietnam that's actually pretty freaking squared away. I'm not going to lie, right? It's not mil spec. It's not American made. It's not Berry compliant. But I'm like, hey, they no shit. That's actually good stitching right there. Yeah, that webbing's not the greatest, but the stitching, you know, overall quality, I was kind of impressed with. So this guy right here, I'm just curious. I don't know. Like, but this is such a better buckle in my opinion. So there it is. ITW Nexus, make something like this, and I'll be buying a shit ton from you, because I'm not a big fan of the split bar. I mean, I get it. This is really sturdy, you know, but that click, I'm not joking, you know, like over time, or if something hits that, you know, that's the problem. If that catches on something, that can open up. You may not hear it or feel it when it opens up. And now your webbing could sneak out, and then, you know, your items on the side of the trail. Well, you know, unless you occlude this opening, that's why I showed you, you know, and my recommended preference would be the heat shrink. That's better than tape. It's just stronger than tape. But I'm not joking. I'm kind of thinking about getting some of these and maybe making them as an option, or giving people the option, you know, and I'll be straight up like, hey, this thing's made in Vietnam. It's not made in America. It's not mil spec. It's not Berry compliant, but I'm kind of liking it. And just listen. I mean, it's like a Grimlock. That's got and it's a normal side release. You know, definitely heard that. I mean, it's got a good ITW Nexus. You need to make your version of this, and it's on both ends. So you can really, you know, whether it's on so think of our keepers even. You could just get a set of keepers with just loops. And then do you want a male end? Do you want the female end? Because you could run that through the loop on the keepers. You could run that through your, you know, your webbing up on your shoulder strap or a plate carrier, wherever you want to put it. And now you've got a spot where, like, you know, now you could single point sling in your crossbow or your platform, whatever you're doing, your gloves. Not bad. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think, because I might grab some of these, and that's kind of, it's not going to go in the swag. I don't know if I'll make another category. There you saw, you know, like it's not they're no joke. They're pretty damn good though. Yeah. So, I mean, let me know what you think, you know, because you know, it's just getting really hard sometimes, you know, like there's just certain things that aren't made in America, and I wish they were, or I wish they were mil spec or Berry compliant, you know, but if there's a good product out there, look, our Austria Alpine, our Cobra buckles, those aren't made in America, but those are Berry compliant, right? Those meet and exceed, you know, Austria Alpine is like a great freaking company to make all kinds of real, no joke, ANSI rated climbing gear, climbing material. Like there's just no doubt about it. That buckle is superior to any other buckle of its form or fashion out there. And I've got a bunch of O rings and D rings that I've purchased from them over the time just for my use. I mean, it's top notch gear. ITW Nexus, that's the only reason we use them, is because that's top notch gear. But fundamentally, there's the split bar, or there's this guy, and you guys can already see this is easier on. Well, and there's the thing, it'll be easier off. But to my point, these guys, for me, these are easy off. My webbing always finds that little hole in the middle. So I personally prefer the chasm buckles. But if you're going to use them, and if you're going to, you know, shrink wrap them, that's my recommendation. And then it ain't going to come off. Let's see what we got here. Tennessee saying the mountains have called and she listened. Cool ass buckles. AVV saying that's an awesome buckle. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is pretty badass. And I'm kind of thinking about maybe, I don't know how I would apply them. I mean, maybe for shoulder straps. Well, so here's the thing though. So I got to point this out. So again, it's not mil spec. It's not made in America. So the problem is this buckle from this foreign made company, it kind of works with ITW Nexus. And, you know, look, and I've used other buckles that, you know, are similar. They either really work, or they work very well, or they kind of work, or they don't work at all. These two buckles. So like if this was your mother canteen carrier with a chasm buckle, which is a female buckle, and then this was on your shoulder strap, it kind of goes in, right? But yeah, you know, I mean, well, that actually, so let's just see. I did it on a chasm buckle. Here, give me a second. So it worked very well on those split bars. Now let's put it on a chasm buckle. So these are the chasm buckles. This is what I really like. So this is a chasm buckle. This is my mother. Let's just put it on here and see how that works. See, that's what I experienced before. Yeah, so it works very well on that split bar, but now I'm putting it into the chasm. Yeah, it was, it didn't, it didn't nest in there very well. It took a lot of pressure just to get it so this split out, and it is in there though. I mean, it is in there. Yep, and it ain't coming out, you know, just a little bit. So that would be my fear. Because if you try to put this on, you know, depending on who you are, and you're thinking like, right, you're like, right, well, see, now you got to hear that click, because right before that, I don't know if you're going to see this in the video, right there, you think it's in and it's not. That would be my concern, right? So I just have to maybe do videos and make sure everybody was aware of it, because you really have to, and you got to jam it in there. Then you can hear that click. Well, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it is definitely a little difficult to get it in there, and definitely a little difficult to get it out. Tennessee says she likes it. Andrew, yeah, I don't know. Rumble shit the bed here, Andrew, and actually almost ruined the whole live stream. I don't know if it's a Rumble issue or if it's a software issue, because there were issues over on ScrewTube as well. I don't know if everything was good to go on X, but yeah, no, we had some issues here. And, you know, and I usually get this all set up with 30 to 20 minutes to spare, Andrew. And I was working, matter of fact, I was late even coming to the live stream here just by a couple minutes, because I tried setting it up on Rumble 4 different times, and it just didn't work either time. So I don't know what just happened, and I'll have to figure that out. Yeah. Thanks, Andrew. You know, I know I'm good. It wasn't my fault, Andrew. You're my favorite. I'm just going to pick on you a little bit. Yeah. I'm going to end it on this. Let's hopefully end it on a little bit of a joke smile. That is like, I hear this all the time nowadays. And I'm not, you say what you want to say, but I've got a buddy who does it now to me on purpose. No, you're good. And I'm like, mother effer, I know I'm not the one who screwed that up, or like, I'm not the one who dropped it. Like, I know I'm good. Quit saying that to me, damn it. So, but thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it. A big smile right there. All right, boys and girls. A little bit long for a video that I thought was going to be a short video. But I guess we had a little bit going on. Angry Viking Veteran, thanks. And to everybody else who tried to think their way through it and figure out and kind of get the cobwebs kicked out and go back to old you know, high school science class. Why do the leaves on trees change color? Thanks to Dan P from Canada for the great conversation the other day. And one more time for his girl, I'm supposed to say lickies and chewies and Pogie bait. That's hopefully I'm not causing some kind of marital strife, but that's what he wanted me to say. So I said I would do it. Let me know what your thoughts are on these buckles going forward. Might be a cool addition. And if you know, we asked a whole bunch of questions. Let me know what you think on some of that swag. Let me know what your thoughts on the setup, you know, how we're going to do this going forward. You know, curious to hear your guys' thoughts. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I think this is going to be better for, I think we'll be able to streamline a little bit better, which is going to be better for all of you guys, especially over on the custom side or the appointment only. But it's also, I think, going to be better for the folks who like, hey, I need it tomorrow. And, you know, and I'm not picking on anybody, you know, but that happens quite a bit. Hey, man, do you have anything? I just now realized I got a camping trip and I really want to take that with me. And I know you've got a lead time. Do you happen to have any? Well, this will be the solution to all that right there. Yep. All right. Tennessee's laughing at something, probably me. I'm not sure what. AVV, tan and black. It's an email. All right. Thanks, AVV. We'll get you hooked up here tomorrow. And then Tennessee, go back and arch the video. Yes, go back and arch the video. All right. Hey, again, apologies to everybody. Thanks for watching. It's probably something I did most likely, but I don't know what the F it was. And we've had this happen once or twice in the past, but the solution that I used worked every time. And tonight it just didn't do it. And, you know, I don't know if it had any negative impact over on Twitter or if it had a negative impact on ScrewTube. I don't know. And I apologize. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I'm responsible for everything that does or does not go right. So, all right, stay tuned. Give me, you know, reach out anytime. If you got questions, comments, we'll see if we got, I just got to throw it up there. Yep. That's what I should just be doing. Gene. Well, I know. Okay. Gene says I should blame Biden. AVV, Tim Waltz for the snafu. Hey, AVV, you know, he carried a snafu in combat. You know that, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's part of his campaign. He carried a snafu in combat. If you know, you know, you'll get the joke on that. Thanks, AVV. All right, everybody, all you great men and women, boys and girls. Hey, I do mean it seriously. If you got questions, comments, reach out anytime. I'll do the best I can to help you out. Just stay tuned. We're continuing to work our asses off. We just got the last of our existing orders out. We've got a handful of belts that we've got to do. And then it's really just now it's all getting all of that ships the next business day done in advance so we can open up. I'm working on the hoodies. I'm working on the hats. If I can get those done beforehand, I'll do a video on that and I'll have them up for sale on the website before we even, technically open up. We're still open for belts and keepers. That stuff should be available to you right now. And then Gene laughing about it as well. So yeah. All right. But you know the deal. Reach out if you got questions, comments. I really appreciate it. Oh, I guess I got to give one last little piece of housekeeping at the end here. So next week, the live stream for next week, I'm not sure if I'm bringing on a guest or if we'll just do a continuation of what we're doing right here as I have more data. But the week after that, so that's going to be like the 19th, there will not be a live stream on the 19th. And then whatever that Monday is of that week. So what is that? 18, 17, the 15th over on Millstone. I will not be there on Millstone. Nothing major. Don't want to be crazy, but I will be out of pocket for some medical stuff that whole week. And I got to get it done because it needed to get done. And I'm just happy I'm finally able to get it done. So I'll be out of pocket that week for me personally. We'll still be sewing. We'll be still moving forward, marching forward, getting this stuff done. But I will not be on Millstone. Blake and a guest will handle that on that Monday live stream for Millstone. And then here on Centerline, unless one of you guys want to volunteer and fill in and be the host for that night, but there won't be anything on the 19th of September for here. But I'll talk more about that next week too. Heavy duty hoodies, thick. I mean, yeah, it's got to be winter weight, fall weight. Yep. And then Andrew Sain's gonna have to catch up on stuff, and he's been out of the loop. Yeah, and thanks AVV. I will be going underneath the knife, but it'll be one more piece of titanium in my body. I will come out of this like Wolverine, adamantium and all that kind of shit. So I just want to get it fixed so I can get back out there and maybe get another 20, 30 years out of this chassis. So, all right, everybody, reach out if you got questions, comments. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I had lots of fun, and I wasn't even drinking. I was drinking bubbly water. Like, see, it made me even just do the little pinky thing. See? If John was here, they'd be making fun because I used to be an officer. I was an enlisted man before I was an officer, though. You got to give me credit for that there. All right, reach out if you got questions, comments. Otherwise, we'll see you on Monday over on Millstone, and then I'll get back here again Thursday. But reach out anytime. I mean, if you got questions between now and then, I'll have more information for you next week. Until then, you know the deal. Gene, are you ready? Oh, hang on. I got to throw this out there. Not the age, it's the mileage. Yeah, I've got a lot of miles before I was even, whatever. Tennessee, thanks for making me feel even worse. All right, Gene, get ready with the big woo. Keep thinking, everybody. Reach out anytime if you got questions, comments. Until then, keep thinking, keep moving, and never effing quit. All right, everybody, be good. We'll see you next week. Woo!